Hello, it's Kelly here with rosiescrapper.com, and I am going to share 3 really fun background techniques for your cards. Sorry, I'm super distracted because I'm trying to get everything closed and get to where I can see comments on both YouTube and Facebook. It'll take me just a second here. Please bear with. It's going. There we go. Move this over. Okay, so I was double checking in the book to make sure that the products I was using today you can still get, which is going to be one of the backgrounds I'm going to do is the embossing paste with the shimmery white. It's almost dried up, but I can still use it. So, all right. And then I'm going to try really hard to remember to tell you about all of the sale items and the retiring items in the mini catalog. Okay, so here are the cards. So yesterday I used this decorative mask, the adorning. I don't know why I can't remember all the words in it. Adorning Designs mask. And then this one is in there also. So I'm going to do some cards with that, a couple of different layers. And then I'm going to use the shimmer paste. I'll show you how I got that blue in the background with using the shimmer paste. And then sitting in church this morning, oh my goodness, the church is decorated so beautifully. And I saw this cool display of black and white and red Christmas cards. This was on the pulpit, but it had this really cool background that looked like ice. And so that's what I was trying to recreate. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do that and let you see. Actually, I might just tell you about this one. So there's one that I haven't stamped on or decorated yet. Okay, so let's get started. I think I'm going to start with that background, those 2 gray backgrounds. No, never mind. I've decided to do something different. Sorry. So I need a piece of basic white. And because I have a bunch of cards that I need to make, I am going to make multiple backgrounds of this. So I'm going to put this in my trimmer at 4 1/4. But I actually want to see where the middle is. So I'm just going to take my fine tip Sharpie and draw a line on the paper. That worked well. I hadn't planned on that. So now I'm going to tape this down. Maybe I'll just do it right there. Kind of cool, huh? Although it doesn't really matter if it's lined up at all. Because I'll be cutting off about a ½ inch of this paper. So I'm going to get started with Balmy Blue. And I think Balmy Blue is one of the things that I didn't put on the supply list. So coming in here with my sponge dauber, I want this to be really light, this layer, because I'm going to come back in with Pacific Point on top of these. So these are my background layer of Snowflakes. So as I'm pouncing, I'm also giving a little bit of twist. So what are you guys up to today? If you're joining me live, I'd love for you to say hello. And If you are watching on the replay, I'd still love for you to say hello and let me know that you watched. And if I helped you in any way or you were inspired in any way, I would love for you to let me know. That always makes my day. Always great to hear from you. And if you ever have any questions about, yeah, that's just the kind of look I'm going for. So that background is really beautiful and could definitely be used just like that. Of course, I'm not going to leave it alone because I'm that way. Well, looks like possibly I have stopped on, oh, there it came back. Thinking that Facebook had stopped, but unfortunately, I don't think that's anything new. Now, you definitely wouldn't have to do the whole page of this. You definitely could just do one panel at a time. But I thought it might be helpful to do the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to switch the tape around to be on the top now. So these will have a slightly different pattern, but that won't matter at all. This background will be really nice for winter cards, or if you don't get around to sending your Christmas cards and want to send New Year's cards instead, this would be a fun background. Or January, February birthdays. Or January and February thank you cards. Or for those of you who make cards for hospitals and nursing homes and assisted living places, this would be a fun background to do. Or wintry cards. Let's see how that's looking. Lovely, 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 lovely. Yay! Get that down a little tighter. So I'm on early on this Sunday because I have a rehearsal at 5. We're doing our Christmas program. On December 19th, and tonight we rehearse soloists and ensembles and such rehearse with the band, I believe. It's always exciting when you get to start singing with the band. Yay! Okay, done. Nice. All right, so I can actually leave that there and come over to this guy here, if I can make room for myself. And I'm going to come in with Pacific Point now. And we'll do just pattern on top of pattern. So you'll see why I wanted those snowflakes nice and light. So if you saw yesterday's video, you know that I did a red and white card with one of the Adorning Designs masks. And then today, doing this blue card. Oh, hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me. I don't know if you said that a long time ago or not. I apologize if I missed it. What are you up to today? Rainy Michigan. Okay, so what do you think? It almost looks velvety, doesn't it? And the snowflakes are faint in the background, but just adds really some nice interest. Okay, so I don't think that I will bore you with me doing all of those. I'll just cut this off and I can leave those on there and do them later. It won't matter that I will have cut one of the panels off. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that now, and then I'm going to do some additional stamping in Night of Navy using the Snowflake Wishes stamp set, this little tiny set there. I think I already have it on a block here somewhere. I was in a big rush to get lots of things done. In a very short amount of time today. A beautiful buildup of snowflakes, right? I could probably be stamping some of these off. Oh, I love it. So fun. Okay, that's it for the Night of Navy. And let's go ahead and trim this. So I think I want this at 3 3/4. Do I like that edge, or do I want to cut some of that edge off? Maybe I'll just cut it straight down at the 4 1/4 mark. So 4 1/4, and now let's just stop right there at the line. And then here at 5 1/2, I'm going to start at the bottom and come up here and stop at the line. There we go. All right, set that aside to work on later. Actually, you know what? I might use one of these for my next technique. Although I wanted to do it on thick white, but we'll see how it works. Okay, I forgot that I was putting that in a pile of blue ink there. All right, so this is pretty full of ink, so I'm going to dab some of that off of there. With a paper towel. I didn't wet it because this is actually how I'm going to get that cool blue effect on that shimmer with that shimmery embossing paste. This is not the ideal way to clean, but I don't really want all the blue to come off. Okay, so I'm going to stick this under here. And I'm going to come in with the embossing paste. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Sewing. What are you working on sewing? Are you working on Christmas presents, or what do you make when you're sewing? Oh, golly. I just got blue in my paste. So I have to dig down kind of deep to get paste that's soft. This bottle is an old bottle, but I live in a very dry climate. Okay, so I'm going to swipe this on there. And because there was still ink on the mask, it's going to mix in with the embossing paste. And if you want, you can mix the color in, but by just kind of leaving it on your mask, you're going to get variation of color, which has a really cool, crafty effect. I need it to be pretty thin. Okay. Clean off that palette. And for the big reveal, da, 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 Christmas quilting. Oh, wow. Full-size quilts. Ah, isn't that beautiful? I love it. This one turned out a little darker. I like it. Let me compare it to the original, and I'll tell you what the difference was. This one, I forgot that my mask had ink on it. This one, and so it was kind of dried on there. And then this one, of course, you know, I did the ink and then immediately did the paste. So that's why this is so much darker. And I love the effect of the other snowflakes underneath there. I think that was a wise decision. Okay. So this needs to be set aside to dry. However, this mess needs to be cleaned up. So I'm going to grab some water and a paper towel and squirt with this with water and just wrap it up here until I can clean it later. The best way to clean this, of course, is immediately taking it to your sink and running it under water and just gently rubbing it off with your hands. But this method of squirting it with water and wrapping it in a paper towel works pretty good if you can't clean it. It also helps to just bring in a bucket of water into your craft space. It also helps to not be doing a live when you're making a big old mess like this. There we go. Okay, on to the next background. Okay, so the next background, let's go ahead and leave this up here so you can kind of look at that little beauty while we're working on the other. All right, so the first background, boy, are my fingers a mess. Sorry about that. All right, so the first background I'm going to do with just stamping. So these two splotchy stamps are from Gorgeous Leaves stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp all over the whole thing in craft white ink. So when you get your craft Stampin' Pads, it comes with the ink refill. And so the pad will be dry and you'll need to ink up the pad yourself pretty much each time you use it. So I'm just stamping all over this background paper. And now I'm going to come in with the other dots and fill in. And then we're going to emboss it with clear embossing powder. Yeah, clear embossing powder. It is going to make it look kind of glassy and icy. All right, I think that's not going to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did the other one. So the other one, I just stamped directly on my craft sheet with only the larger one, and then I'm going to spritz it with some water. Let me get this out of the way. And then I'll take this piece of smoky slate and just dip it in the water. Isn't that cool? I feel very Tim Holtzy right now, right? Okay, need a spot for that to dry. Once that's dry, I will do some more stamping on top of it. That's pretty much it for that particular background. Okay, so let me clean these up. Oh, they are full-size quilts. Cool. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. I hope you try it. Kathy, I think I may have asked you before, but are you a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator? Okay, those aside. All right. Now, because that was craft ink, there was no way that was going to dry. And even if it did partially dry, it's not going to matter at all. I'm going to grab a piece of copy paper and I'm going to emboss this with clear embossing powder on the entire thing. Okay, let's try and get that shaking all over the place. I think I got it everywhere. This will also really help that dry fast because if you've worked with crafting before, you know it takes forever to dry it. And then if I just have recently inked up my pad, it is really juicy. Okay. So let's get this. Not for this too. Yep. I know the feeling. Love all their stuff. See the way that's got some interesting depth of color with that clear embossing powder. And some of the white has stayed vibrant and some of it didn't, and some of this embossing powder is just straight on the gray. I think this one's going to look more icy than the other one. Oh, that looks really cool. Isn't that fun? Let's compare it to the other one. Well, I guess it's quite similar. Oh, that's really neat. I love it. All right. So let's see. These two, I think I'm going to cut with the same die cut. The large rectangle die. And by the way, I think I forgot to put that on my list of products. I'm so sorry. I'll try to remember to add that to my blog at a later date. And is there anything else that I need to emboss? Yes, there are some, or cut. So there are several things that I need to cut. So let's take care of my Christmas trees first with my punch. So I need a little scrap piece of basic white. I need a white one. And then I'm going to stamp the plaid one. This time, yesterday I used real red, but today I'm going to use cherry cobbler. There. And then on a piece of cherry cobbler, I'm going to stamp the open leaves. Come to that in a second. Ah, threw that right in the ink. Oh, that's about to come off. I can stamp it before it falls off. There we go. There we go. Set that aside. I will need that later. And do I need the red ink anymore? I don't think I do. Okay. So another tree is going to come from this Glad Tidings set. This is really cool paper. I probably would have used real red for this, except that I knew I wanted to use this paper, so I had to change it to. Oh, here's an upcoming video with cool tags. All right. Need a piece of paper because I'm going to stamp that white one. And then I need to punch that black one. So with Smoky Slate ink, I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on top of the tree. And this stamp is also from Gorgeous Leaves. Those two dotty ones are from Gorgeous Leaves. And so is this wood grain. So there's my wood grain tree. Isn't that cool? I like that. And actually, that gives me an idea for something else. I think that I'm going to go ahead and try a different style greeting this time. So while I've got this out, let's stamp that in black on some basic white. Oh, that sparkly paper is from Celebration and is no longer available, but I bet there are demonstrators out there who got many, many packs of it and are trying to get rid of it. So I'm grabbing this punch. I don't know what the name of it, something labels. Oh, is this gonna fit? It's gonna barely fit. Look at that. Barely, barely. Oh. Okay, so here was my idea with that punch, was to do the same idea with the stamping of that wood grain. I probably could find a better fit. Like with a die cut. Yeah, I think that's going to look cool. Let's audition it on the card. I think I like it. I think I might like it better than the vellum. Hi, who's peeking in? I hear footsteps behind me. And now they're gone. Sean, is that you? He's not talking. Okay. Oh, one more. Black. So the black is going to require a smaller piece. The black is going to require some embossing. But that's okay, right? I love embossing. So I want to do what? I think I might emboss the dots first. And then emboss them in white. I didn't emboss them in white before, but I think I will this time. And the dots are here. I will still use the craft ink. Kind of a lot of parts for this one. Sorry, guys. Eek. That should be enough for the tree, don't you think? White. Now this would be a cool background, wouldn't it? Just stamping dots all over black paper. Hey, that'd look really cool. I may have to do another backgrounds video. I need this to cool down a little. Hello, Lori. Mystery guest. Why are you calling yourself a mystery guest? Oh, I keep closing up that. Oh, doesn't that look good? I love that. I don't know if it even needs this next step, and I'm just going to take a little bit of white craft ink and go around the edges of all my trees. All right. And then while I'm at it with the little punches, I'm going to grab this little piece of shiny paper here. So this paper is from the mini. It's called Silver Foil Specialty Pack. And as long as I remember at the end, I'll know if this is one of the sale items. So it's, oh, and this Starlit Punch is also in the mini. And I don't remember if this is, I think this is carrying over, but it has a little tiny star right there. So I'm going to punch out 5 of those for my 5 little trees. I'm not punching it all the way out. That's weird. I think that my stars are flying everywhere. Looks like chrome, doesn't it? I realize that this is probably way more than 5, but I'm afraid I've lost a few. Okay, done with that. Lori, don't you think this looks like something you would do? With all of the pieces and tiny parts? Okay. I think I'm ready. No, I'm not ready. So I need to cut that out with the the cut and emboss machine. So let me set these over here. Slide these to the side and hopefully not lose my stars. Right there. Okay. All of this. There. Okay. So I kind of have a lot of things to cut. I apologize. I'll try to get it done quickly. So again, this is the largest triangle from the, I do want to put a little bit of tape on here because I don't want this to move. At least not too much. If it slides off, it makes it kind of hard to get out of there. Okay, there's one of my backgrounds. I love the way this punches out of here. And while we're at it, let's check the status of this one. I think that's mostly dry. Oh, the person who came in my room, right. Well, there are 3 choices. Sean, Jackson, or Skylar. All right. Let me decide who. Hello, Gina. Thank you. Okay, I think it's dry. I think I'm going to do it. So you'll have to go back and rewind later, Gina, to check out how I made these background papers. You're just kind of seeing the end, catching the end to see how they all go together. But this one was done with embossing paste and a dirty mask. So that's how I invented this background, using an uncleaned mask. There we go. Okay. Here's the folder for that die. And then I wanted to, for one of the other cards, use these two dies from, I think this is the Time to Remember, seasonal label dies. Oh, no, that's not. The seasonal label dies, I think, coordinates with Christmas season stamp set. There, that one. So again, I probably missed putting, I think I put the dies up. Yeah. All right, so this needs to be stamped first. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it up there on my cut and emboss machine. I'm using this May Your Season Sparkle and Pacific Point. I probably will not be happy that I did this. Let me grab this at least. A little bit smoother surface. This is from Snowflake Wishes. There we go. Dark inks take longer to dry. There we go. And then the other one will be using vellum. I'll just put some tape on there to hold it still. I think is that all the die cutting I'm going to do? If I skip the little holly leaves, then that will be all the die cutting I will do. Oh, nope, it won't be. Sorry. I forgot that little swirly do. That. And this. And let's find some Pacific Point. This is the Seasonal Swirls dies, which is retiring, and there's this little swirl in here that has stars on it. So I'm going to do that. And then that is also where the little holly leaves came from, so I might as well just do those again since I'm going to be running it through. And that is going to be in the cherry cobbler. Okay, that is it for this cut and emboss machine. Alrighty. Ooh, stray star. Uh-oh. I think I'm ready to put almost everything together, aren't I? Yay. Okay. Oh, no, I have one more thing to cut, but I think I'll spare you that. So we have this background and this background and this background. And this one here is going to get the swirly die. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how dirty my fingers are. And I'm going to use some of this metallic mesh ribbon. So it's just going to get a little bit of excitement with the mesh ribbon. I'm also going to need a little piece of mesh ribbon for this one. So a little bit of stamp and seal right there. Got a little low. It's okay. It's okay. And then that is ready to go on my card base, which I believe I made card bases before I started. I did. Let's just go ahead and use the tape. It's not going to go in there. So this background was done with stenciling using the same mask, the snowflake masks from Adorning Designs, twice, once in Balmy Blue and once in Pacific Point. And so now this is going to go on there. I'm going to use liquid adhesive for that. Thanks, Gina. So Gina, where are you from? Have you told me before? So I did this slightly different than my first card. And I think I'm just going to go for it and continue doing something different. It's hard to glue down on top of this mesh. There we go. See if we can get that one to stick over there. So I was going to stamp this 'Tis the Season in Pacific Point and then cut it out, but I think I'll just go with a little strip of paper and then just trim it out with my scissors. I do need the Pacific Point back. I also layered the original up with, see if this is going to fit on here. Layered it up, the original up with some Pacific Point paper. That needs to come down more. Alberta, Canada. I feel like maybe I knew that, but I don't know. I apologize. That turned out pretty. Not pretty. I love it. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And now for these two items here, this is going to go on. I'm just going to yank this apart like that. And then with dimensionals, going to take my greeting. Let's use 3. And I'm going to put additional adhesive on the dimensionals because this is going to have to hold down the mesh. So I'm just putting it on there, spreading it out over. And then because I have the glue on there, the liquid glue, I have a little wiggle room time. Plus I have the extra glue to go kind of squeeze through the mesh. There we go. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, so then I can just put a little bit of liquid glue behind the greeting panel so the glue won't show. And let me grab another card base. And that is ready. So I don't know how long I have been going live, but I sure am glad. Oh, almost an hour. Eek. I sure am glad to have gotten 3 more cards. Christmas cards done. And I think they're really fun cards. When I mail cards, I like simple cards, but I tend to want to mail the fancier cards, you know, a little more elaborate. I don't know what I'm doing here. I thought I needed that to move, but I'm not so sure I did. So let's hold it down for a sec. Okay, so this one is going to get 2 really beautiful gems. So I'm using the garden gems and the blue adhesive back gems. So the garden gems, I'm going to use this little diamond shaped one, or actually, I don't know. I don't know what that shape is. Who knows what that name of that shape is? It's not really a diamond. Okay, where is my... Oh, there it is. Put it away. How odd. My take your pick tool. The take your pick tool, I believe, is one of the must-have tools for your craft room. And this one's going to go right on there. Isn't that pretty? So I could stop there, but of course I probably won't. And let's add some blue adhesive back dots. Right in the middle of that faint little... Pretty! Oh, I love it. Okay, let's see if this is dry enough for me to trim. I hold my breath when I'm doing this kind of trimming. Do any of you do that? Hold your breath when you're doing certain types of crafting? Breathe, breathe, breathe. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Adhesive, or sorry, dimensionals. And I think I'll use the same trick of doing the glue. They are definitely more time consuming. Yes, Gina. So I'm going for the middle of this card. Just cause. And this one needs some gems too, don't you think? Let's put some gems on it. I didn't put gems on the original. Let's just use the snowflakes to help me out here for where to put them. And let's see, is there another one I can use? How about this one? Yay! It kind of needs a couple up here, doesn't it? Did I get one? No, missed it. I guess right there is where I'm going to. I like that. Okay, so let me compare it to the other one that does not have the gems. Oh, no, I guess I did put. Oh, that's right. I put those gems. I forgot about those. And those kind of go nicely with the silver. Okay, so there's a difference. So those gems are the silver and clear epoxy. And I think I have all of those added. Okay, so what do you think? Do you like it with the blue background or the white? I kind of like them both, but I think I'm partial to the white one. Maybe a little sponging around the edge of that panel. But I think that this greeting stands out more without that blue panel. And then here's the other. I'll do that one in a second. Here's the other one in comparison to the original. So I already explained why this ink is darker. But that pretty much stayed the same. Sparkles in a few different places. Oh no, I have that different background. I use that masked snowflake background on this one to change it a little. I can never be trusted to do the same thing twice. Just not in my DNA, apparently. All right, let's find all of these adorable little Christmas trees. And we're going to start with this black one. Right up here in the center. All right, you guys, if you have been inspired in any way, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. That helps me out in all of the fun algorithms on Facebook and YouTube. So if you would be so generous as to do that, I would be grateful. Thank you so much. I don't know what just fell. Hopefully it's not something I need. Oh, scissors. Okay. And then this one. Now there was something funky about that original one that I didn't really like. So let's make sure I don't do that. Okay, so we're going to go a little low with this one. Oh, good, Gina. So I'm not the only one. So Lori, my dad got me this cool grate thing that kind of hangs out over the fire pit in the back. And oh, I like that. Do you like it? I think it's fun. All right. So this one I think I'm going to put up on dimensionals. I didn't on my other one. And then so anyway, you swing it out over the fire, and it's like a permanent fixture back there. All right, so these little guys here are gonna go on Oh, thank you for putting on Pinterest. Yes. Oh, yeah. And you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can share videos on your community if you log into YouTube with your Google account when you're watching. You can share in your community. And oh, I wanted to mention that. Oh, I like that, and I like the way having the little extra red holly leaves kind of breaks up where I have the same pattern next to each other. So that turned out good. All right, so let's see if we can find all of our little stars. Our stars. See, it's me and you, guys. It's me and you. We're together in this. All right, got one here. I have shared on my community page some of our church services. So I go to Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene here in the Tucson area. So try and get that glue off of there. May have to come in with my little eraser. And I sing on the worship team, and I'll be singing on the 19th for the Christmas program, and our Christmas programs are wonderful. In fact, if you're anywhere near here, it would probably be very blessed by attending. If you're not, you can watch online. Of course, I'm not so sure about how the sound will come out. I think the sound is pretty awful, but it might just be what I'm playing it on. But this card was modeled after what I saw on the pulpit. The pulpit has like this screen, like a television screen, and so they can put different things up on it. It's really cool. Okay, let's use one of those epoxy dots, I believe. Yeah. Or will it be too big? I don't know. Let's try it. So this is the silver one. There's clear and silver, and it won't matter that I cover up the end of my Y, will it? I was going to do this in 2 videos, the snowflake ones, and then this one, but really they lended themselves to being together in one video because it was all about the backgrounds and creating different backgrounds. And so if I have inspired you to get out your masks and do some double layers of masks on one background, or to play around with the dots and creating a snowy, icy looking background, I would love to see what you create and would be grateful if you shared on my Facebook group, Rosie Scrapper Stampers. There is a link in the description below the video, along with all of the other ways that you can find me. My blog, my Stampin' Up website, Facebook, Pinterest, all those fun things. And if you have any questions about any of the products or need a Stampin' Up demonstrator or just a question, I am here for you and would love to help you out in any way I can with your stamping or crafting needs. All right, I did not put that in the right spot today. I think my camera has moved. Sorry about that. I don't know how long ago that happened. I hope I wasn't crafting off mic the whole time. Okay, so those are the 3 we made. Here are the 3 originals. And I will Oh, good, Kathy. I'm so glad. Yes, I would love to see if you make them. And don't forget thumbs up before you guys go. All right, so I am going to go through the book, and I realize that if you already know what's happening with the sale, but I wanted to make sure that for my customers who are interested, they know what's going on with the mini catalog. So, all right, these are very fun. Okay, so couple of things I think are different. I did clear embossing and this time I did white embossing. I definitely like the white embossing better. I like this greeting better with that little wood stamp from Gorgeous Leaves. Let's see what else. I like that the ink, the mess on my mask was fresher on this one. So I got more of the ink color to come out than on this. Although I love both of these. I don't know. I don't that this is hard for me to pick a favorite. But this one I definitely like better than this one. I like it without the panel. All right, so that's just what I'm thinking. I love the way this turned out. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll give it a try. It was super easy. All right, so for those of you who are interested in what's happening with the mini catalog, and then I'm going to have to scoot out of here or I'm going to be late because I want to get my car washed before I go to rehearsal. So our mini catalog is from July to December, so it ends at the end of December, and of course you know that that's one of my favorite stamp sets. I think I'm going to come up here like this so I can get both of them. And hopefully this is the one. Oh yes, thank goodness. This is the one that I have highlighted. So I think that the highlighted ones are the things that is a while ago that I did this. The highlighted ones are the ones that are stained. So you will be able to still get the craft paper pack, which is cool, the mini ruffled ribbon, and the pretty pillow box dies. So that's wonderful. The adorning masks are retiring. So that's what I've been using on my last two videos. Alrighty. So here, the gold holly leaves will be staying. The painted Christmas paper will be staying, which is cool because it coordinates with my very favorite stamp from the whole catalog, which is Christmas season. And then Christmas to Remember is going to be hanging over with the greetings that I have also been using quite a bit of. One thing that you cannot get is the Christmas season bundle. You will not be able to get the bundle after December. So, Words of Cheer is going to be retiring. The Snow Time dies are 20% off at $26.40. The Snow Wonder will be retiring. I think that both of these are retiring, but the dies might be on sale. I'll get to that. Oh, that silver foil. So that chrome looking paper that I punched the stars out of, that is going to stick around. Yay. The wonderful snowflakes. You get 24 of those snowflakes, and they're very pretty. Made a lot of Christmas cards for the Christmas boxes, the Christmas child boxes with those snowflakes. The rest of this is all retiring. The Peaceful Deer is sticking around, as is the Deer Punch. This is retiring. All of these are retiring. See if you like little Santa and his sleigh. This Merry Christmas to You is beautiful. All right, so the felt is 15% off at $7.65 US dollars. The pool party ribbon is 10% off, and the stockings dies are 50% off. The Penguin Place is sticking around with the punch, which is super cool. Love that. And the Delivering Cheer is retiring, but the brushed metallic cardstock is staying. I haven't even gotten around to get that, so I'm glad it's staying. All right, let's see. The red and green foil sheets, which the red I used yesterday, that is 20% off right now. The snowy white velvet sheets are sticking around. The timber embossing folder is sticking around. The white glittered organdy, which I'm super excited about, is sticking around also. But the paper is leaving, as is the stamp set. Oh, somebody's peeking in. Was that you, Sean? This is retiring. The Peaceful Cabin, the Arctic Bears are retiring. Foreign to Us is retiring. Beautiful stamp set. Never did get around to getting that either. Red Velvet is retiring. The Bright Baubles bundle is retiring. Merriest Moments is staying, and I'm super happy about that. Merry Melody is the embossing folder is staying. That's the music notes, but the Angels of Peace is retiring. Blackberry. So the Shimmer Vellum is on sale and retiring. The Blackberry Beauty Ephemera pack is on sale and is retiring. The Beautiful Leaves dies are half off, and the Beauty of Tomorrow is retiring. This Welcoming Woods is retiring. The Gorgeous Leaves, is retiring. I'm sad about that. So if you want those splotches and that wood, and those leaves also, they have like this dottage around them. They're really, really stunning. Pretty Pumpkins retiring. Nuts About Squirrels is carrying over. The Cutest Halloween is retiring. The Halloween Punch is 50% off. Paper's retiring. Black and White Gingham Ribbon is hanging over. Carrying over. Okay, this Frightfully Cute is retiring. The Clever Cats and the Black Glitter Paper is retiring. And I have just done too much talking for too long a time, so I need a sip of water. All right, so Nature's Harvest bundle is carrying over. Super glad about that. Time-worn type embossing folder. The Brush Metallic Adhesive Dots are carrying over. The paper is retiring, so if you're interested in those, they're all very dainty. I think it would be great to use like quilted cards. The Nature's Harvest is carrying over. Glad about that. Heartfelt Wishes is retiring, as is the Heartwarming Hugs paper. The Sparkle of the Season is retiring. This one, I'm sad about this one retiring because I really, really love the foliage that is in that. And of course, I use that die set on today's cards. Little Delights retiring, and Star-Crossed Embossing folder is on sale. Reflected in Nature retiring. Time of Giving retiring. This Well-Defined retiring. Joyful Life retiring. Festive and Bright retiring. Okay, so the Starlit Punch is carrying over. The Great Tidings dies, the Wiseman, those are 50% off. The Christmas Pine Cone is carrying over. The Christmas Cheer is 50% off. So you have the layering happy there. And the layering cheer. See, seasonal dies. Oh yeah, those are carrying over. And the Cloche dies are 50% off. The Holly Border Punch is 20% off. The Penguin Builder Punch is carrying over. I think I already went over those. So again, as you're watching my video, my highlighted ones are carrying over, and the green ones here have the sale. So, those seasonal swirl dies, which I used today, 40% off. That's cool. And then the festive dies are 50% off. And that concludes the super fun discussion of the mini catalog. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for the thumbs up and sharing the video with anybody you think might be interested. It was a pleasure. Let me know if there's anything I could do for you or if you have any questions. Bye for now.